Hey guys, what's up? It's Deniz from Deniz World of Bodybuilding again. It's flash news. I didn't thought that this would happen, but I considered it definitely after seeing the Mr. Olympia 2018 results and Ramy obviously being unhappy with circumstances, although he didn't, wrote it in exact words and directly. I was like, he wasn't happy about that. And let's just talk about this. Ramy officially has left Kuwait and Oxygen Gym. That means he's no longer with WORLDOFBB, who was seen as Joe Weider of the Middle East. Ramy was their biggest name, and Ramy was the athlete to be Mr. Olympia 2018, especially out of their mouths, and he really disappointed with his conditioning. That was the reason why he got sixth. I'm pretty sure, and like Dave said, I have this information of Dave's news video of RX Muscle. I have to give credits for that, obviously. What Dave said was that WORLDOFBB took over his full, training, and probably, the whole prep. I'm pretty sure on that. The whole prep, nutrition, training, everything was done by Kuwait and Oxygen Gym and the guys of WORLDOFBB, and it didn't work out. They said they were unhappy about Chris Aceto, and they were like, okay, this year we will do it and we will win the Olympia. At the end, they didn't get second, third, fourth, fifth, but sixth. Ramy apologized for that. My opinion is, without knowing in fairness, my opinion is that he basically was with them, and as long as he was with them, he, so to say, had to follow their principles, their nutrition program they made for him, their supplements, the training, everything. It was just a boot camp type of thing, I think, like a military or what, where he ate, slept, and train in the focus and in the eyes, followed by the Oxygen team. So guys, there is another story, another news. Big Ramy is not from Kuwait. He is from Egypt, and like NASA was. Big Ramy is not from Kuwait. He was there, he lived there because of Oxygen Gym. He left Kuwait, he lives in his home country again, Egypt, which probably will make him very, very happy because he's with his family again. Family and kids. He loves kids. He's doing very, very great with kids, I think. And he wants to go fishing again. Like you saw in Dave's interview, he has 4 fishing boats, and it even sounded like he himself wants to get active on that again. I think maybe on his offs, really, really off season where we don't train and everything. I think he takes a couple months off after the Olympia. Maybe in that time period he'll do it. He said that when they go fish, they're like 20 days on the boat, sleep there, eat there, fish there, and then they're like 1 week at home. And yeah, the thing is that I'm pretty sure he won't do it when he preps. That's nearly impossible. Obviously that's impossible. But maybe he'll do it, for his completely off season, just reset his mind, his body. And now, coming with that, leaving Oxygen Gym, leaving Kuwait, living in Egypt again, who will be his next coach? I think, people could say he'll go on his own. That could people say that he could go on his own and basically prepare himself like Deniz did the last couple years he competed. But I think that he won't, I don't think he will prep himself. Maybe his training he could do himself, or he would want to do himself, but I think his prep he wouldn't. I even talked about a certain picture the last few days. I think this is maybe even the proof with who he will be. And that was a great, post of Ramy too, by the way. You can check it on his page. I think after seeing that story, which is not online anymore, but I did a screenshot of it, meeting of the minds, point. You see a picture of Ramy and Phil Heath next to each other, thinking of the master plan. Big Ramy, brothers in iron. Before that picture, you never saw them together. Didn't seem like they're friends. I never saw any footage of them together. But when you see those kind of pics and you hear master plan, what do you think about? What do you think of? What's the connection point between those two guys? It is Hani Rambot. And they've even said that Hani called him, I think, within 24 hours after the contest, and they talked about things, I don't know what, but it's pretty obvious about what. Hani probably said, hey Ramy, you didn't look your best. You still have very, very much potential. I'm the guy to go with. I train Phil Heath 7 times Mr. Olympia, and still it's going on with the list. Pretty sure that Hani wants to train him, and that could be a guy. So I think the number one guy who most likely will be his next coach is Hani Rambot. And there is a slight chance also that he will go with Chris Aceto again. That would be great too. Because I think that they both go very good together. That will be very interesting, guys. Ramy didn't, make it this year, but he is the youngest guy up the top. Sorry for that little picture here. He's the youngest guy off the top 6. He's 34 years of age. The current Mr. Olympia is 43. He's still, if he needs 1-2 years, doesn't matter. It's just about right. But I think that he has the math and everything. If he can go with a coach where he maybe even will do a test run kind of thing, like for example, doing the Arnold Classics at March, to just test run it, so to say, and see how it goes because let's say he's with Hani Rambot, they never prepped as a team, and then Hani just has to experiment, and that experiment could go good, could go bad, could go very good, could go very bad. So I think that if he is with Hani Rambot, that he'll definitely do some other contest before the Mr. Olympia. I definitely think so. I don't think if he's even qualified. The top 5 or top 6 is qualified. Sorry for that. I don't know, but definitely, even not considering that, I think definitely if he's with Hani, he'll compete in the early season too. Probably the Arnolds, maybe a contest closer to the Olympia, but just to see how things go. And if he, let's say, he convinces there, he wins the Arnold and is in great shape, then he has the best propaganda and marketing and wave behind his back to go there full force into the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas and win the contest. That's completely possible to happen. Of course, Phil wants to regain his title. He was pretty much down the moments after the contest, but it seems like he is so much on fire, like it is 2011 again. The things is that if he can he fix his gut? You know, that's the problem. Can he fix his gut problem? The distension, it was pretty obvious this year. They wanted to go in a different direction, the aesthetic direction. Sean Rodham maybe even has the best absent thighs pose of any Olympian athlete, any Mr. Olympia there was. Sorry. So the direction is clear. You know, I mean, if he goes next year with a distended gut, I'm pretty sure that they will say, you know, Phil, you won't regain it. But if he does a Jay Cutler 2009 kind of thing, which can be definitely possible too, he would win it again. So the chances are very high that Phil could regain it, that Ramy could get it, that Sean can get it, or maybe even a different guy. So the next year's Olympia will be very interesting. That was my 2 cents on that. I hope you liked the video. That for me, it's a positive message. I think if he would still stick to their team, if he would stick to that oxygen team, he wouldn't win the Olympia. Yeah, I don't think he would, because I think they go in a direction which won't win the Olympia on a mass over conditioning direction. You know, his name is obviously Big Ramy, but that doesn't mean that, you know, he has to come in like Jay did in his off season. That was just exaggeration, by the way, but you know what I mean. Even if he would be in great shape, he will be the biggest guy on stage, he would still be Big Ramy, okay? Subscribe to my channel, guys. Have a nice weekend. I hope you loved the 2 videos, including that today.